This is Phil with Carnival Group, giving you a brief recap of part 2 of our DiSC webinars. If you missed part 1, please go back and watch part 1 video, and then come back and join us here for the part 2 video. Part 3 will be airing live on March 27th. As we look back at the 4 main DiSC styles, we're reminded that there's these 2 main axes that create the styles. The vertical axes we have on the top is fast-paced, and the bottom is calm. On the horizontal axes, we have the facts on the left and people on the right. And that gives us the D, the I, the S, and the C. We also remember that of those 4 main styles, we have priorities around the outside of those circumflex, the circle that we see that makes up the DiSC model. Those priorities show how we interact and how we behave. We behave out of these priorities so we can understand what style we might be and others might be based on those priorities as well as those axes we were talking about. Today, we're actually going to break down each style type into 4 different components. So as you can see in this chart, there's a lot of information here. What's most helpful is for us to understand our own style first. So what I would suggest you do is go to our website as well at carnivalgrp.com and find the DiSC homework for part 2. And look at this. Maybe notice what are the things that stick out to you. Which of the top priorities, the ones in this first line, would you say are your biggest and most top priorities? And of those other ones, which ones would you also circle and underline or star or identify with? And then look at the facts or people category and maybe put a dot or circle or underline or highlight the ones that really stick out to you. Maybe make a note of those. And then move on to the pace category. How quickly do you usually go about things? And what makes you go quickly? Maybe try to identify which of these categories, which of these items fit with you. And then finally go into the preferences. Which of these preferences would you say are ones that you would identify with? Which are your preferences also? Start noticing what kind of overlap do you see in this? Are there any places where you see you definitely are really heavy in one of these categories? Again, remember, you might not be fully one type. You might be a blend of 2, right? So it's important to remember that. And then you want to go into the final piece and start actually figuring out where you might fall on the DiSC style. Where is your primary style at? And then claim a spot, pick one, or come to part 3 ready to talk about it a little bit in the start. Hope to see you in part 3. Thanks everyone.